All right, everybody.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boys here at the Curtain Call Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, the Spanish Flying, always with me, my number one tag team partner, Nacho. Nacho, tell us it.
What's up, everybody? I hope you're excited to get into some Raw-After-Mania business. I've been so happy with all this wrestling stuff that's been coming out this past weekend and yesterday, and I cannot wait to see what comes next.
Definitely an exciting weekend starting on Friday with SmackDown going into the Hall of Fame, a beautiful Hall of Fame. Saturday, NXT TakeOver, which we haven't even talked about NXT. We need to get on NXT. Starting next week, we're gonna dedicate a whole segment to NXT. That took us into Saturday in the evening. We had night one of WrestleMania. It took us to Sunday morning where they had the Slammies. We haven't talked about the Slammies. It took us from the Slammies. It took us all the way to the Bray Wyatt interviews with his father, his family that they had there at WWE The World. And then it took us into night two. Night two finished off and left us on a euphoric high, and we were feeling great and loving it. And that brought us into Monday, the Monday that everybody loves. It's the one Monday, the one Raw of the year that everybody agrees that they absolutely love the energy, the atmosphere. Took us into Monday Night Raw, and that's what we're coming on today to talk about. I know 3 hours was a lot. So much stuff to talk about on Raw, but we just have a couple topics that we want to get on to because we don't want to make these videos too long. But before anything, Nacho, do you know what time it is?
Trivia.
Trivia time. And we're just going to go back not too far ago, right before COVID, 2019. On an episode of SmackDown in 2019, the Usos lost their SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Remember, at that time, those titles were still split. The Usos were your SmackDown Tag Team Champions. The Usos lost their tag titles to this tag team. Do you know who that tag team is? 2019 SmackDown. I'll give you two hints. Number one, it happened in Brooklyn, New York. Number two, the tag team they lost to is no longer in the WWE, but one of them is a free agent. Could be coming back to the WWE, while his partner might still have to stay in the other place that he's at because he's injured and they added time. If not, he will be a free agent as well. Do you know who it could be?
Is it a set of brothers?
It is a set of brothers.
Huh. Were we guessing that they possibly show up in this tag match over the weekend?
We speculated. Yes, we did.
Then it has to be the Hardy brothers.
The Hardys, delete. Matt and Jeff Hardy defeated the Usos back in 2019 on an episode of SmackDown to become your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And that is on this day in wrestling history. Also, want to make a special shout out. Somebody has a birthday today. It's a female wrestler. She's off the hook. Some say she might be the bestest. Some say she's the greatest. Some say she's all those things that end in ist. Who do you think it could be? Hey, here it is. Bianca Belair. Happy birthday to Bianca Belair from us here at the Curtain Call Podcast. Now that is all done, all those things are gotten out the way. Nacho, let's get into Raw, man.
Let's get into Raw.
First topic, hit me, Nacho. What we got?
First up of the night, we started the show with an introduction from the man Triple H, bringing out our new undisputed Universal Champion, Cody Rhodes.
Finish the story, Nacho. And boy, when Cody came out to that packed house in Philadelphia, he looked every bit as a champion. Now, I do want to say something real quickly. If you notice, they didn't say your new WWE Universal Champion. They just said your new WWE Undisputed Champion. I think they're going away from that Universal number one, number two. I was really itching, hoping that they were going to do a title change. I really were. I was sitting there. Okay, it looks like he's going to change the belt for him. He's going to give him the belt, the Wing Eagle belt. It's going to be a newer version. Oh man, I was expecting that. All around, a beautiful segment with Triple H and Cody Rhodes, our new champ. That video package they made for him was amazing. When they finished it off with his daughter saying, Dada, win the championship or something to that effect, it was beautifully done. You can see the raw emotion in Cody's face. How'd you think about that first segment?
Oh, I loved it. Seeing the raw emotion in Cody makes me see how real this title change is for him and how much it means to him, regardless of the fact that he finished his story. Just the fact that he can be so touched so quickly by just the crowd reaction, by just seeing how much the people behind the scenes care about him enough to make that video package for him. He's going to be a special champion for sure. Roman was his own special champion, but Cody's going to be a special champion for the people. And
absolutely.
To see how much it meant to him, I can't wait to see what he does.
Yeah, it was great also hearing Triple H talk about the new era that we're in, the ushering of the new era. And it was really good. Not only is Triple H behind Cody Rhodes, but it looks like all of WWE office in general is behind Cody Rhodes, because they said something very key. They said, and this man is leading the way into the new era. It looks like everyone is behind Cody Rhodes, which is very satisfaction to us in the sense where we know that he's just not going to be a temporary title holder. It's going to be something there for a long period of time. I thought that the segment with him and Triple H was very, very, very well done. It was all off the cuff. It looked like it was raw, uncut. Emotions were showing. It was beautifully done. The crowd was very into it. It was lovely, man. I mean, it really was. Then Cody, Triple H walks off. Cody starts talking. Then The Rock came out. And I don't know, Nacho, we kind of got a little, as the fans in Philly were saying, it was a little awkward there. How'd you feel about it?
Very awkward. I felt very sus the whole time he was out there. He seemed very out of place, very lost. It just felt weird because, like you said, when we went live after night 2, they kind of cut off all the stories that were being told. Everything kind of wrapped up going into this new era. And after this celebration of Cody Rhodes, The Rock showing up and bringing us back into the stuff from before night 1, it just felt a little odd. And it's like I said, it felt out of place. So I don't know. He wanted to hold Cody's belt. He wanted to hold Cody's belt, and then he let Cody hold his belt. Okay. He was very defensive when people were saying it was a fake title. People kept chanting that it was a fake title. He's very defensive on that, which, to be fair, that's fine. It's still cool. Okay. And then he says that he has to go away for a bit because he's going back to Hollywood. We're done with The Rock for now. But before he says his goodbyes, he and Cody shake hands after he pulls something out of his pocket. He tells Cody, "You don't even have to look at what's in my hand right now to know what it is." What do you think he's holding?
Man, let the speculations begin. Wrestling truly is what why, where, when, how type of show. And this is the second time something like this has happened. The first time is when The Rock whispered in his ear. Everybody want to know what The Rock say, what The Rock say, what The Rock say. This time The Rock places something in his hands. We don't know. And the crazy part about it is we're not going to know anytime soon. If The Rock is going away, he's not going away for a couple weeks. He's not going to go away for a month or so. He might be gone all the way until SummerSlam. That's the truth of the matter.
Or Mania.
Or Mania. Who knows? Remember, one thing he said is, when I come back, whether you have this or not, I'm looking for you. Meaning, if Cody Rhodes is the champion or not the champion, The Rock's coming back for one reason and one reason only, is for Cody Rhodes. So there's a couple things we could take out of this thing. Number one, when Roman decides to come back, he's going to be a huge babyface. Just because Cody said he acknowledges him and thanks him for what he did with the title, everybody started yelling, "Thank you, Roman." Automatically, he's going to be a babyface. Number one. Number two, The Rock goes ahead and places something in his hand. We can start the speculation. Is it the watch that Triple H, Tom Pritchard, and Nick Khan gave Cody, that it was Dusty's watch that he pawned it and gave it, and took the money and gave it to Cody so Cody could do acting classes in LA, and they found the exact watch and they gave it back to Cody. Cody didn't have it on. Is it the broken watch? Remember, The Rock said, "You broke my heart. You broke my heart. Don't ever break my heart again." Could it be the watch? Maybe if he feels a broken watch in his hand, he knows what it is. Can it be a lighter? I've heard people saying maybe it was a lighter because Cody's bus caught on fire. Was it the lighter? What was it? Some side plates to the world title where it's the Rock side plates. There's so many different speculations, but the greatest thing about wrestling is Cody sold it very well. That means he knew what it was. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, which is making all us wrestling fans talk about it. And the things that people are coming up with is insane. But one thing I can say is that whatever it was, we will find out eventually. And as much as when I first saw this segment, I liked it. It was all right. When I rewatched it, I didn't like it. And then I watched it again, and I appreciate what they're doing. Because they're laying down the foundation for good long-term story. And a lot of times us wrestling fans, we like a popcorn style wrestling, which it pops right now. And because this isn't going to happen for us in a long time, I think we just need to let this play out. Let's let it play out and see where it goes from there. Let's enjoy the fact, because I'm still on that nostalgic high where Cody's our champ. Cody's the man. They've basically have told us that the title that Cody has is the top title in the company. No knock to Damian Priest, but he's not the undisputed champion. He's just the world champ. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, I liked it, I didn't like it, and then I respect it because now they're laying down a foundation. Let's see how it plays out, Nacho. Let's see how it plays out.
I don't know. I really like the lighter theory because you had the news that Cody's bus had unexpectedly caught on fire. We didn't see any pictures of it, as far as I know, but it apparently happened. You had The Rock coming out in his entrance and surrounded by a circle of flames. But I mean, if it's not the lighter, I definitely could see it have been a ticket for Black Adam.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Could have been a Black Adam ticket. We'll have to see.
Yeah. But one thing's for sure is that we put a ticket for Black Adam. This guy, look at, he actually put a ticket up there. It's a ticket for the Tooth Fairy Part 2.
Yep.
One thing I do know is that I love the way WWE is doing their storytelling. In parentheses, before we go to the next one, I mean, the whole thing of storytelling with the WWE is great. You have from Drew Drew McIntyre for months had been telling Seth Rollins, man, you know what? You're obsessed with the bloodline. You're obsessed with the bloodline. It's going to cost you the title. You're obsessed with it. And ultimately, Drew's obsession with CM Punk, which we'll talk about later on, cost him the title. Seth comes out to the Shield music and the Shield gear, and some people were kind of thrown off by it, but those that have been following the storyline knows that Roman still has trauma over that Shield stuff. And he still shows that's his one weakness, and Seth sacrificed himself. That way Cody could beat Roman.
Yeah.
And Roman is still looking for revenge from when Seth hit him with the chair when the Shield broke up. And Roman has said publicly so many times he wished that the Shield would never have broken up, which cost him. And Seth said in a promo, which I thought was really, really cool, Seth said, he knows what triggered Roman's, hence, again, that's why he's Roman's biggest fear. He knows what gets to Roman. He knows how to beat Roman. He knows what triggers Roman. And I thought that was very, very key. But I mean, the way WWE has been doing their storyline, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. So we're gonna let this play out and see what happens. And maybe something amazing will come out of this that none of us are even thinking about.
Yeah.
What's next, boss?
All right. Next up, we had Sami Zayn came out and did a little promo. I can't get this off. There we go. Okay. Okay, no, it's back. Sami Zayn came out and did a little promo last night. It was interrupted by Imperium calling him a bum and saying how disgusting it was to see Gunther's amazing title on someone like him, who comes out to save Sammy after they bust him up in the ring. Sheesh. Chad Gable. Chad Gable comes out in a purple outfit, which took me by surprise. I don't know if we've ever seen that before. That purple getup.
Very, very ECW Judgment.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Little Judgment Day. Weird. I don't know. That could be hinting towards possible path he's going down, but Chad Gable, Sami Zayn have a nice match. They wind up teaming up, and Sami Zayn has the Helluva Kick all charged up, ready to go to finish out the match. And he pauses, and he looks at Chad, and he decides to tag him in and give Chad the final blow in the pin to win the match. What did you think about this?
I thought the match was good. It was a solid match. I'm more wanting to talk about the backstage segment afterwards.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, next week. I thought it was good. It was fun. I liked they were both doing the German suplexes. But they also they cut to backstage, and Sami Zayn asked the Alpha Academy if he can have a word with just Chad. And Chad reminds him that he said, "You owe me," for what he did to help Sammy win. And Sammy responds by saying, "Giving you the victory in the match wasn't enough." And at first, when he said that, my heart started racing because I'm thinking this is his turning point. This is where Chad is gonna something's gonna snap. But Sammy chuckles, and he ends up saying he understands that Chad did help him win. And next week, when they're in Sammy's hometown, Montreal, they're going to allow Chad to have a shot at Sammy's title.
I don't know how I feel about this, man. I think it's way too soon. Sammy's not going to drop the title. He's not going to drop the title in Montreal.
No.
So that means it. Go ahead.
Which I was hoping Chad said, I don't want you to have the hometown advantage with everyone on your side. Let's push it back a week. And when we're in Columbus, Ohio, the week after, let's have the match. But that didn't end up happening.
Yeah. I'm sure Gable was saying, you know what? I can't do it in Montreal. We need to do it in Columbus because Nacho's going to be there, and that's the only way I could win.
Exactly. Who else do you need?
But see, that's where I have a problem because, you're not part of the Alpha Academy. You're part of the Curtain Call podcast. So he can't have you as a partner. You're already taken up. So he needs to get in line. And if he doesn't want me to turn heel on him.
Is that who we're going to have in Columbus? Is it going to be Chad Gable versus the Spanish Fly?
I'm coming out of retirement. Yeah, right. My wife would kill me. Anyway, I don't like this. I don't want it to happen real quick because I really do like Chad Gable. I like him as a baby face. I think he's very likable. I've always said he reminds me so much of Kurt Angle. So I don't know how I feel about this. Because I want Sammy to have a decent run with the title, but I don't want it to come as on the expense of Chad Gable losing again to the title, losing again the opportunity of winning the title. Because how many more opportunities is he going to get? The truth of the matter is, if he loses this time, I don't want to see it again. We've already been down that road. So I'm wondering and I'm hoping that maybe Gunther gets involved somehow to be able to cause a disqualification where it saves not only Sammy, but it really saves Chad Gable. And then maybe we can get something where it can set up maybe a triple threat match down the line, a triple threat match maybe in Cleveland, Ohio, where Chad Gable finally picks up the victory by pinning Gunther instead of Sammy. So I don't know. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping this ends in a disqualification because of outside interference by Gunther and Imperium. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, something else I forgot to mention the last time that you told me to talk about. I have a theory that this year's Money in the Bank winner is going to be Chad Gable.
Okay.
I'm thinking if he loses this time, regardless of the interference, no more shots for this title.
Okay.
Move on. And if there is an interference, I guess it kind of fuels this theory even more. Gunther interferes. Chad wants to get the fire is lit again for Gunther, regardless of the title. He wants that payback on Gunther. We know that Gunther, now that he's dropped this title, is going to be going more towards a world title in that picture. So maybe next year WrestleMania, if Chad holds on to the Money in the Bank that long, like Senior Money in the Bank, or just another pay-per-view wherever Gunther is able to go, maybe Gunther ends up winning a world title at one of these events. It gets cashed in on by Chad, and that's his ultimate payback. I don't know. I don't know if Chad's fully ready for a world title at this point. Maybe he would have to win a mid-card title before that, but that's something that we could play around with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not against that idea. I think that's a really good that's actually a pretty cool idea. On the flip side of that, that means Damian Priest's title run won't be long, number one.
Mm-hmm.
That means he would probably drop the belt, and if anything, he'll probably drop the belt to Jay.
Yeah.
Which means Jay would just be a temporary title holder because Gunther's going to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that by that time, 2 months later, Gable cashes in. The title's just popped too many hands in a short period of time. That title will have to change hands 3 times within the next 8 months. And it hurts the title.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of glad Seth had this long title run because it made the title mean something. Gunther made this title mean something. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they need to have Gable win this belt at a SummerSlam, and from there, Gunther just moves on and chases whoever is with the title.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. Well, we'll find out. Start next week. We'll find out what happens. What's
Absolutely.
next, man?
Next up, we went into a fatal 4-way qualifier match with the victor getting a shot at Damian Priest's World Heavyweight Championship belt, featuring Ricochet
Rico
Jey Uso, main event, Jey Uso,
made a
Drew
yeah.
McIntyre, and Big Bronson Reed. Which, before we go into this, something I just saw on Twitter. I don't know if you saw this, but Drew McIntyre had tweeted out that UPS had lost his gear for WrestleMania. And people thought that was just a jab at CM Punk because he had asked Punk if he could wear his. Turns out this was true. I'm seeing on Twitter from Jason Baker, who you might know made Bray Wyatt's mask as well as the skull mask that Cody Rhodes wore. He posted online that the gear was actually lost by UPS and that his wife, Sandy Mimpson, left WrestleMania Night 1 right after the show and stayed up until 6 a.m. making his full-on replacement attire that Drew wore for his match at the start of the show on night 2.
Wow.
So, round of applause for her.
Shout out, man. Shout out to her, for real. She must have got paid some good money.
Oh, yeah. She better.
I mean, she got paid. But... All right, man. So check this out on this match. A couple things. Rico's been getting a good push. I thought, man, is Rico coming out of this? But something told me Jay was going to match because he's on such a high right now. Drew McIntyre and the CM Punk story is getting really good.
Yeah.
It's getting good.
Yeah.
To see CM Punk cost McIntyre that match. Oh my goodness. The way Drew looked at it was like, son of a bitch, what are you doing here? He was so upset, but it was so good. And CM Punk's face right there, that picture right there that you got up. If that ain't the most, that's the greatest picture from last night. CM Punk dying laughing, looking at him, holding on to Drew's leg. The crowd is going insane. And then the other picture with CM Punk's hands up in the air. Look at the crowd. The crowd is excited. They love what's going on. It was so good. So shout out to Jey Uso. CM Punk is having the best time of his life. You could just see the difference, the look on his face.
Gosh. Yeah.
Drew McIntyre is this storyline with Drew is getting good. But there's something going on with Big Bronson Reed. It looks like somebody has an eye out for him.
I saw that. And also, I was rooting for Big Bronson Reed going to this match. Shout out Big Bronson Reed. I fully thought he was going to get a title shot. I was all there for it. My brother was fully there for Jey Uso, and I don't know. I had my Big Bronson blinders on, so I did notice that something fishy was going on with Bronson, starting with his promo that I'm pretty sure had to be featured on a little TV screen or whatever they had there because they couldn't fit an actual jumbotron on the wall. He was standing with his Andre the Giant trophy, and all of a sudden the screen starts flickering. And this is a big budget production. That's not supposed to happen on a big budget production, especially with someone like Big Bronson Reed standing there. The screen starts flickering, and then we start hearing talk of people who are actually at the show when they cut to commercial break, hosting videos. When they cut to commercial break, the lights start flickering, and the screens start flickering, and all of a sudden, some music starts playing. Are you familiar with this tune?
I'm not familiar with the tune, but I'm familiar with the way it's sounding like. It reminds me of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of somebody that walks around going like this. And that person is related to somebody that used to. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Uncle Howdy.
We saw a tweet.
Howdy
there was a tweet from the Uncle Howdy account.
The White Rabbit's making an appearance again.
The White Rabbit.
How cool is this going to be for us Bray Wyatt fans that are still mourning his loss? Because it's still a shock. And to see the documentary of Bray Wyatt and the way Bo Taylor Rotunda was talking about him and the way the documentary ended, I I I feel that they're going to do right with this character, because I hate to say this, if Vince was in charge, I would be so worried.
Yeah.
But I really feel he looks like his brother. He talks like his brother. His mannerisms are like his brother. The only thing that we all know is that Bray was amazing on the mic. But Bo really didn't get the opportunity to be on the mic like that. But we do know that Bo is a better wrestler than Bray. So I'm excited to see where this storyline is going to go. I'm excited to see this character, Uncle Howdy. And I hope, Nacho, I hope they take their time building this up. Don't rush it. Take your time. Let us be able to savor every piece of nugget that you give us.
Now,
I love it.
Do you think, because I know in the documentary they showed us what the next look for the Fiend was going to be. Do you think we're going to get some sort of different look for Uncle Howdy if he shows up?
Now, here's the thing, Nacho, and I think the Uncle Howdy thing itself, I don't think that doesn't do much for me. If it was a faction, a part of a faction, it does something for me. That being said, I do not. I don't. As of right now, I don't want to see the Fiend. As of right now, I don't want to see Bray and Wyatt-esque, but I do want to see something that alludes to it. I want Bo Dallas to be where you guys know I'm not the Fiend. That was Bray. You guys know I'm not the cult leader, Bray Wyatt. That was Bray. You guys know I'm not him. But if I have to tap into that spirit and put on the Fiend and embody the spirit, then I'll do it. But I want to see what they're going to go with it. Now, if you ask me next week, who knows? Maybe I'll say, yeah, let him be the Fiend. But as of right now, I think they can still do something the way they were doing Bray Wyatt his last go around, where he would come out as himself, and that dark Uncle Howdy gimmick is there. He will come out as himself, but if he needs to tap into the Fiend, it's there. I think they could do that.
Something cool that could be happening is you have a match going on, and you just see him standing in the background from a certain angle, and then when they come back to the angle, he's gone. They don't mention anything about it. You just start seeing him, little glimpses of him in the background. It almost make you second guess if you saw him, because the spirit of Uncle Howdy, this entity, is slowly but surely building up. I think that would be at least from the beginning. I think that would be an interesting.
Nacho, have you watched any of the WCW days, Nitro?
Well, like a little bit, just from documentary stuff.
So let me give you, in case you do know or you don't know, let me bring it up to you. So when the NWO came in and they started taking over and all that, right? They had a fake Sting, right? Because people were blaming Sting. What happened? All of a sudden, Sting's hair got really black, and Sting wasn't seen that much. And then all of a sudden, Sting was shown in the rafters with white face paint and black lines. Because at that time, the movie Crow was really popular. He started doing that persona.
Yeah.
Every week after week after week, WCW is getting beat down by the NWO, and they show in the rafters, and it's Sting. And then the next time, he had a big crow on his arm. And then the next time, that happened for a whole year. Sting did not wrestle. He just would show up in the rafters. When Sting finally came down from the rafters, everybody was saying, oh my goodness, is he going to be helping WCW or is he NWO? Because he's wearing black and white. When Sting finally pulled the bat out and started beating up the NWO, that's when people started going crazy because they realized, wow, it made sense because he had not hit anybody, have not touched anybody, wasn't physical with anybody for a whole year. It was one of the greatest storytellers that they could have done. I'm not saying that you need to have Uncle Howdy in there for a whole year, but let this marinate. Squeeze every juice that you can do out this story, because eventually the payoff is going to be that much greater. I don't want to see Bo Dallas. I don't want to see Uncle Howdy. I don't want to see Taylor Rotunda anywhere near a title. No, because you ruin everything right there. Because if he wins a title, you know he's going to lose a title. That's what they messed up with Bray Wyatt. Keep him away from a title. He don't need a title. Every popular wrestler does not need to be a champion. Keep it away from the title. Allow him to have his feuds. Allow him to pop up where you don't know who he's going to attack. Is he going to attack a good guy or a bad guy? Oh, he attacked the bad guy, so he's a good guy. But then the following week, he attacked a bad guy, so he's a good. Let it play out. Let it marinate. Let us enjoy this. But I think this is going to be a really, really good storyline going forward.
I can't wait.
Now,
I like this type of stuff.
Yeah. Now back to this. The CM Punk thing was great. I'm looking forward to see what happens. We already know they drew, and CM Punk doesn't have that brace on his arm anymore. Hello. We might be getting that match really soon. The next pay-per-view is where, in Scotland?
Yep.
So I don't think they're going to do that match over there, you know, and Drew's going to be a big baby. Yeah, Drew's a big-time baby face over there. So,
it could be Sheamus. I mean, Sheamus is coming back. We don't know when, but also we had Dragunov on Raw last night. That would be an interesting match.
Yeah, not too happy that they put him over Shinsuke real quick, but nonetheless, it was. We'll see what happens. What's next?
Next up, well, first off, do you have anything else to say about Raw before we move into our next area?
It was a good show. I thought it was a good show. I thought, of course, the nostalgia from the night before. So I think everybody was like up on cloud nine about it. Other than that, I thought it was. I didn't think it was a bad show. It was a lot better than Raw last year.
Exactly. Yeah. Last year was rough.
There were some people we were expecting to come out, which they didn't come out, but that's fine.
We did get Cena.
We did get Cena.
Cena had his first Raw win since 2019.
I know it was really good. There's some people, but like I've told my sons that were expecting this person to come out, and this new person, and the debut of this person. I said, you know what? Let it marinate, man. You don't need to hit a home run every time you come up to the plate. The way you win baseball games, Nacho, is by getting men on base.
Yep.
That way, when you hit the ball, the base hit can score in the run. If everybody swings for the fences, you're never going to win a game. So let people get on base, man. Let's be patient. We're in a new era. We're in the Paul Levesque era, and so far he hasn't disappointed us. So let's see what happens.
Yep. All right. Well, for our final topic of tonight, we're moving back into something that happened last year that is being brought back up on AEW. Last year at All In, we had an incident backstage that we heard about between CM Punk and Jack Perry after the pre-show match. Or was CM Punk the opener of the show, or was he pre-show too?
He was the opener of the show.
Okay, he was fighting Samoa Joe, and we heard that before his match there was a incident backstage involving him and Jack Perry fighting, most likely over the use of real glass, and Jack Perry calling him out on that because he didn't want to use real glass. We heard a lot of things that could have happened in this backstage brawl. We heard that Tony Khan could have been involved. We heard a lot. We heard that recently that CM Punk had approached Tony and told him to deal with Jack Perry, and that was something that ultimately led to him parting ways. And now we have the Young Bucks in their new characters, reporting that they're going to be presenting footage from Backstage All In for the first time Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. What did you think about this news that came out?
I'm gonna let you go first, Nacho, because I'm gonna say a few things, and I want you to be able to get the stuff off your chest first.
So, from my point of view, I actually didn't even see their announcement. I just saw this on Twitter. To me, it feels desperate because they haven't even fully said what they're going to show. They've alluded to CM Punk, and they said that they're going to show just some stuff from backstage production. The fact that they did tease a little bit of CM Punk shows me that they know that name is going to draw people. It just feels weird. I've heard rumors that I don't know. I've heard rumors that there's could be a possible new deal between WWE and other promotions where people could be showing up. If this isn't something to completely trash him, maybe that's what it's alluding to. But to me, it feels more negative, and to me, it feels more like they could be trying to bring another company down from where they are right now. Like I said, I didn't even see the promotion, so you will have more to say on that than I do. But I think I can't really talk on it until I actually see what they actually put out there, just because it just feels gross to me that this is something that they're pushing.
You know, Nacho, they didn't say CM Punk's name because they know they can get in trouble. But
They didn't say his name?
Yeah, they did not say his name.
Okay.
But everything that they're pointing at is CM Punk, number one. Now, let's talk about what happened backstage. I wasn't there. You weren't there. None of us were there. Only the people that have actually made reference to it all said the same thing. That CM Punk choked Jack Perry. And then it was Samoa Joe that told him, you got to let him go. And then he yelled at Tony Khan, called him a clown, and said, I quit.
Supposedly swung.
Yeah. Tony had was in fear for his life. Yep. If that is the truth, the 100% truth, you're not going to show that on TV. Because you're not going to show that somebody else from another promotion just choked out one of your guys. So what are they going to show? Is it part of their little gimmick thing that they're doing? And they're going to say, oh, there was a fight that happened and Jungle Jack Perry wasn't in the wrong, so that's why we're bringing him back. I don't know, but you know what?
Like, you mean costumes?
Yeah, make their own little segment of it or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, this makes Tony Khan look so desperate, man. This is Nacho. This is the reason right here that I stopped watching AEW. Because I was a big fan of AEW when it started off. But I started noticing certain things that reminded me of WCW back in 2000. And then as it looked like as Cody Rhodes' influence was starting to be taken away from the company and Tony's influence started going in more, it reminded me like a kid playing with his toys in a sandbox.
Yep.
You had the biggest star in your company ever, and you let him go after he told you numerous times, man, get this stuff taken care of.
Yep.
It's so ridiculous, man. Somebody put on the internet that they need to change the name of AEW, All Elite Wrestling. So I'm gonna read it right here. Read it right here. All Embarrassing Wrestling. Because this is truly embarrassing, bro. You know what it is? My opinion, it's like if Tony Khan's feelings are hurt because CM Punk said that that's not a real company, that it's not a wrestling company, and Tony got butthurt about that. And then he sees that everybody's talking about how great of a person CM Punk is, how he's getting along with everybody in the locker room, how him and Seth Rollins are actually getting along super great, how CM Punk is laughing and helping everyone, how all this stuff about CM Punk, everybody's loving the way CM Punk is acting. It's a new CM Punk. They're loving it. His relationship with Triple H, all this stuff. Everybody's loving them CM Punk. And he's jealous.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to say I got some footage. You're not going to do nothing. All you're going to do is, you know what he's doing? He's going to get ratings for this video, obviously, because people want to know what it is.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, he's going to have some stupid gimmick match of #1 sewage diver title tournament. He's going to have some stupid gimmick match. And it sucks because there are so many men and women on this roster that's super talented.
Yeah.
And they're just in the wrong company. And I'm not telling them that they got to go to WWE. No, man. But there's Impact out there. There's New Japan out there. But all you keep doing is spending money on these ex-WWE guys. And everybody that comes from the WWE, they get that immediate reaction. They get a big pop. Everyone's going crazy. And then what happens? They end up on Dark. When Rusev first came to AEW, every fan online was saying how Rusev is going to be world champion, how they're going to show now that Miro it was a waste, was wasted in the WWE, and this and that. What did he do? He's on Dark. We haven't seen him on TV in so long. When Keith Lee came to the WWE, oh, Keith Lee is going to show everybody why he's limitless and he's going to do this and that. When was the last time we saw Keith Lee? Oh, I know. We saw him at the Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame. Right when they're interviewing somebody at the WWE Hall of Fame, he's walking past and pauses.
I think it was CM Punk.
Yeah, it was Punk. He pauses so the camera can make sure you see me on this station. When Aleister Black came, oh, he's going to be the champ and all this. Nope. To me, it's dumb. It's embarrassing. And it's the reason why on Wednesday night, I'm watching TV with my wife, episodes of things that she liked, because there's nothing to watch on TV. I cover AEW because I catch up on it on YouTube or read about it and stuff like that to be able to present it here to the show. I don't order their pay-per-views. I don't buy their pay-per-views. It's the reason why I stopped, Nacho. Because it's not what I expected. It's not what it's not what they told us it was going to be when it started. When it started, it was exactly that. But it's changed so much.
You know what? That sucks, because if you look at the card for Wednesday night, we have Timeless Tony Storm, who's been making a name for herself. We have Penta El Zero Miedo versus Adam Copeland for the TNT Championship. And we have Dustin Rhodes challenging Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship in an eliminator match, which could be a pretty awesome show. Those are some big names. But then you have to have this segment, which regardless of what you're doing with the Young Bucks, regardless of what you're doing with whoever, Tony Khan is the person who approves this at the end of the day. and structures this show. He's the one putting this whole thing together,
Yeah.
and it just feels so stingy. It just feels so gross. And even if it ends up just being a joke of the Young Bucks standing in costumes backstage or doing whatever they want to do backstage, why? This happened almost a year ago. Why is this
Because CM
necessary?
Punk's getting a buzz. He's getting a buzz. He's the talk of the town. So they're gonna try to jump on that his coattail. And you know what, man? They better not alter any. If they show video, they better not alter any video. They can't do that because then they got a lawsuit. It's the most ridiculous thing, man. It doesn't make any sense, man.
Yeah.
Why can't they just concentrate on wrestling, bro?
They
Somebody
should be
posted,
concentrating on making actual storylines. This
yeah,
is not a storyline.
somebody posted, they stayed anonymous. It was a former NFL player that played for the Jacksonville Jaguars that talked about how bad of a company it is.
Mhm.
And it's dumb, bro. I wish you would just concentrate on wrestling, man. Concentrate on wrestling, and then listen to this. I need to read this. This is directly from Tony Khan. Listen to this. AEW has a great track record on delivering what we advertise. And it is real footage. The Young Bucks will show backstage footage from All In, the most important event in AEW history. The world record holder for the most tickets ever sold for any wrestling record, over 81,035 total, and it was an important night backstage as well. Dude, this is so BS because we all know that it wasn't 80,000. The numbers came out. Remember Will Ospreay got that tattoo of the 80,000, and then he was like, "Oh no, it wasn't even. I got it. Oh man, it wasn't even 80,000." Nacho, I don't.
It feels like a kid on a playground who just all his friends went over to play with another kid's new toy, and he's like, "Wait, guys, you realize this toy has uh like motors in the tires too?" Like it just feels like childish play. Like it just feels so stupid and annoying. And I hope that WWE doesn't even acknowledge it, which they probably won't. But
No,
I hope
they
that
won't. They won't. And by the way, it said it was broadcast worldwide that they had 81,035 tickets per sold, when in actuality, in the attendance was 72,265. I don't know how they turn around and add about 9,000 tickets. It, it's ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous. It's
yeah,
so ridiculous, man. And you know what? WWE is not even thinking about them. I know for a fact WWE is not thinking about anything AEW does. I've been telling people for a long time, WWE is not in competition with AEW. WWE's competition is MLB, NFL, NBA, Olympics, Monday Night Football.
dude,
That's
they
their
just made a deal with Netflix to be streaming. And then there was news a couple months ago that AEW didn't even, they were unsure if the people were going to even buy them
get
back
picked
to be
up.
on their shows.
TBS has made a deal where they're starting a new streaming service with TBS, National Geographic Explorer, HBO Max, and all kind of stuff. You can look it up online. And it was saying that on the listings that they gave of shows that are going to be on the app, AEW wasn't even listed. I'm telling you, I really feel like we might be in the final days of AEW. which is sad because I do not want to see AEW go away. Why? Because I think more wrestling companies is what this business needs. That way people can move around like in the territory days. But, and it's crazy not to, because Impact is doing so much better than AEW. Excuse me. And
honestly,
not a lot of people
at this
watch
point,
Impact.
I don't want MJF. I mean, unless maybe with the new Netflix deal, whatever way that they're going to be less censored. I don't even want MJF to end up going to WWE because his character I don't think will fit in there. I want him going towards Impact or just something else because there hasn't even been talk of MJF with AEW coming back.
But they talked about him the other day on the Pat McAfee show with CM Punk. I mean, with Cody Rhodes.
Exactly. He said that he said he's like one of his top guys.
Yep. And who was at WrestleMania in the press box?
Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes
Ricky
and who
Starks.
else? Ricky Starks going crazy when Cody won. Who was reportedly at the hotel with Cody? It was MJF. Come on, man. This Tony needs to chill, man. Just concentrate on wrestling, bro. You have arguably Nacho. He has arguably the greatest group of guys in the Bucks and Kenny Omega, and not to mention, which I want to do a video of this one day. Not to mention, possibly one of the greatest factions in wrestling history, the Undisputed Era, working for your company.
Yep.
And you ain't doing nothing.
And Will Ospreay.
And Okada.
Yep.
And WWE is just blowing them out the water.
How many shows are we sold out?
17 in a row. Columbus is already sold out. Columbus, it's not sold out. It will be sold out because the last time I checked, tickets. I think they had like 1,200 tickets left, if that.
I need to pull
Columbus is going to sell out. And you know what's going to happen? That every week they're going to show that graphic of all the cities and states selling out. And the following city that they're going to for that following week, they're going to be like, well, we're not going to be the ones that gets caught out for not selling out. No, we got to sell it out. And it's going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And yet, AEW gets what, 20 people? Not 20 people, 1,500 people in a 10,000 seat arena.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, I don't want to make this episode about AEW. We could talk about the downfall of AEW any other day. Get that graphic off. Put something up better. Put Cody Rhodes up there. The one that is now by far the undisputed WWE Undisputed Champion. That's the man right there. Those two men right there for the next 10 years is going to be grabbing a hold of this company, and they're going to be taking it to new levels. And I'm willing to bet something on here that when Cody Rhodes is all done with his wrestling careers, he's going to be the one standing next to Triple H making business decisions.
Yep.
That,
I can't wait.
Curtain Call podcast viewers, that right there, that picture you see right there, that's the future of this business. It was amazing to hear them say pro wrestling is back, because pro wrestling was one of the words that were not allowed to be said. It was sports entertainment. They've been using a lot of words that Vince McMahon did not allow them to say. They've been using these words, and they said it. Pro wrestling, before they went off the air at WrestleMania, they said it. It feels good to know that pro wrestling is back. I'm just saying. Nacho, what else you got, bud?
I don't have anything else for tonight, unless you had anything else.
Nothing else.
I will say, we did get news that the WWE draft is going to be happening in 2 weeks from Friday.
Sir. SmackDown, and then on Raw.
SmackDown in Cincinnati, Ohio. And guess who's going to be there?
Are you going to the Nasty Natty?
We're going to be at the draft. I'm going to be at the draft.
So
with
hold
my
on,
brother.
You're going to Natty, and then you're going to watch it here in Columbus.
Next, so the Monday after next is Columbus.
So you're going to the
then that
Columbus show,
Friday.
and then you're going to Cincinnati.
Mhm.
Are you going to take a poster with you?
Should I?
You should. It should say the Curtain Call Podcast on it.
I think I'll have
Click and
to.
subscribe.
Yep.
So I won't be at any of the shows. I got to take a trip. But I will be at SummerSlam. And of course, I'll be with my boy Nacho. And if you see us, if you're watching us and you happen to be going to SummerSlam, make sure you take that poster, the Curtain Call Podcast, and my boy Nacho's going to buy you a drink. That's just like
I'll give you an action figure. You want an action figure? I'll give you an action figure. Something I did see. I do want to say this lastly. Something I did see that got posted, and this could be all speculation because I don't know how legit these renders are that they put on the website, but somebody posted that the SmackDown before SummerSlam, your tribal chief is advertised. It's not advertised for other shows.
Where is SmackDown before SummerSlam?
I think it's
got to be close by because
I think it's at Rocket Mortgage.
Oh yeah, because now they do SmackDown. They do just like they do WrestleMania.
Yep, you're going to be the night before.
So are we going to SmackDown?
We could.
So I think this sounds like a plan. Well, we need to start a Patreon. We need to start a Patreon where we can make these shows. But that's all we got for you guys today. We'll probably be making another video when Nacho Thursday, Friday.
We'll have another one up probably before Friday.
Yeah, we'll have a video up and then we'll do a live as well. But that's all we got for you guys today. If you haven't by now, it doesn't cost you anything to go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Make sure you click on that notification bell. So every time we post a video, we're live. Bam, you receive it right away. From the bottom of my heart, we truly appreciate all the love and support that you guys have been giving us. The channel's climbing slowly but surely. We're getting there. Our goal is to be able to, by the time we get to SummerSlam, hopefully, maybe we can have about 1,000 subscribers. But we need your help, man. So just click subscribe and share this content with your friends. And leave comments below if you'd like for us, if you want to hear us talk about a certain thing, or if you want to make us talk about who our Mount Rushmore wrestlers would be, or who the greatest managers of all time are, or if you want to hear me tell my first WrestleMania story. There's so many things that we can talk about. We can do story time with the Spanish Fly. We can be story time with Nacho. However you guys want to do this, we were willing to do whatever it takes to make sure we get this channel going because we're having a blast doing it. So, with all that out the way, I already asked you to click on subscribe and click on the notification. It doesn't cost you anything. We appreciate every one of you watching with us. That's my boy Nacho. And my name is the Spanish Fly from here at the Curtain Call Podcast. So we're going to finish like we always do. If you got to throw it up into sweet me, baby. And remember that right here at the Curtain Call Podcast, we always kick out at 2. Talk to y'all soon.